Hey everyone. Okay, I mentioned last night that I was going to be on earlier today because I've got a coaching session later tonight. So actually I do need to come on earlier anyway. So here we are. It's Wednesday night in Australia and in Sydney, Australia and in New Zealand, and of course in this part of the world down under. I think so. Don't you just love Rod Stewart? Well, I like some of his songs. This is one of my favourites. All right, Rod. How about you? I'll just turn you off and get back to where I was. And yes, okay. So, all right. So this was day 2 of the challenge, and basically, if you haven't caught it, watched it yet, I did put a little clip of my workout this morning, my exercise workout, which was actually choreographed by me and by Leo, who was sort of helping out too. But oh, I tell you what, I was noticing that my elbows were actually straying because I kept doing it on the yoga mat and my elbows were starting to actually really scrape. So yeah, I thought, no, I'm just going to finish this take, just do it. Otherwise it's going to end up, you know, I'll be bleeding or something like that. But it wasn't. Anyway, that's probably being a bit too dramatic on that one. But yeah, so that's actually up. And I was looking at what the thing is tomorrow. So I've actually put a little in the featured section of my profile page. I'm going to do those. I'm just adding those stories to the daily updates. So you're going to see it like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 of the challenges, just all in that one place. Anyway, so I was looking at tomorrow, and tomorrow was, and I'll record it. I mean, I'll record it live and just post it as a story. Basically me sharing 5 things. I think you got to share 5 things about what you like about yourself. But it was so funny. I asked Leo. Leo's my son. He's my oldest son. And I said, well, what do you reckon are 5 things that you actually like about your mum? And it was like, and I went, yeah, okay, Leo, don't strain yourself, you know. But hey, that's kids. So what I thought I would actually do is that if you don't really know as yet, I am launching my very first online coaching program, and I'm doing it live at the this Sunday. Now in Australian time, it's at 2 o'clock on Sunday. So after church, everything. But it is actually, I posted a link, but it is actually a paid program. But anyway, from up and from today until Sunday, I will just keep posting basically, you know, things for free that you can actually listen to or whatever you wish to do with it on that one. But that's where I'm actually heading in terms of what I'm pivoting towards being. And I'm like, you know, doing nutritional courses left, right and center and everything else, because I feel nutrition is really the important part of this whole equation. And then I'm actually thinking, no, it's probably the mindset that's actually equally important. Mindset, nutrition, exercise, fasting and sleep. Those 5 pillars and things. So I will, it's about a 4-hour session, but I'll be going deep into each of those, and so that you have some practical guidelines of what to do in the first 30 days in each of those pillars and things. So that's what I'm actually building at the moment, still, you know, putting the finishing touches to it. Okay, but I mean, to me, that's just the first of many programs that I want to actually put out there, just so that I'm basically just sharing my story, and hopefully it'll just build, and we'll have a few more stories of people who have made that decision and made that change as well. Okay, so I thought what I would do now is just to take you back almost 11 months, because I did, and it's just a new post that I put on there, but I did a video challenge for 21 days. And the whole thing about going live or even just posting a video on a social media platform, I remember it is daunting. And I think it was actually really nerve-wracking as well, which had a lot to do with your own self-confidence. But with everything, you know, like if you're starting a new exercise routine, you get stronger by actually just starting and building up and just working through it. You know, you lift heavier weights by starting off with the smaller weights. And that's what I found too with just posting. Now, of course, you know, not everybody needs to do videos out there. You can actually write blogs or write posts. So if you're good at writing things, and yeah, by all means, do it that way. People are good just talking. They don't want to be seen. So they might have a podcast. And I do actually have a podcast. It's called Learn, Act, Grow. And eventually I'll actually start to probably just take the audio from these videos and make it available on a podcast, because that's just another platform that makes it, that opens up your audience. And what was the other one? So if you like videos and you don't mind doing, then you do videos. If you like writing, then you can write possibly blogs. If you just want to talk and things, then of course there's the podcasts and things. So apart from that, I think they're the three main ones. There's probably another one, but anyway, they're the three main forms of communication. And as one of the coaches that I remember sort of seeing for the first time a couple of years ago said, pick a platform that you know that you can relate to and be consistently just on there and just posting daily if you can, because eventually you will find your voice, and you will also find the people that you are actually serving, you know, your tribe. I think they call it the tribe. I think so. All right, so I want to actually just go back to July 2020 when all of this actually started for me. And I'll share very quickly my screen, thanks, and then I'll come back on. So hold on. Okay, so fortunate for me, I was able to, and this was actually a video challenge for 21 days. So it was part of a, I paid to actually be on this video challenge, but it was under the guidance of one of my coaches. It's actually the one that I'm going to catch up with later tonight. He does a weekly session for his students. And the goal was, well, the aim was to actually record 21 videos over 21 days, following though a guideline of what, you know, he had a PDF that you could actually give you ideas of topics and, you know, to actually talk about. Otherwise you'd be thinking, well, what am I going to talk about for, you know, each of these videos? And it's interesting because, like I said, these were taken a day before. July 20th here is actually when I started my health journey. And so I actually talk about the event that triggered that, which was a weekend, a Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within weekend, that because I was part of another online coaching group, the actual mentor there had basically given us complimentary tickets to attend the virtual event, which thank God, you know, I mean, so I think there's another one actually coming out really soon. Might actually be this weekend, but anyway, it's Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within. So if you want to, know a little bit more about it, just Google it. So I've pulled off a couple of videos. Now, notice a lot of these videos are really taken from the chest up, because I didn't really like, I didn't really like to have that full length view of myself. So, but the thing is, and it was posted in a private group, so they weren't public, not like what I've been doing now, but they were private, and they just, like, I pulled off a couple, I downloaded a couple of ones to sort of show you, which I thought was actually really interesting. This one here.
Hey everyone, Bernie here. How are we? So what I'm going to share with you today is not necessarily what 3 things led to a particular result, but more I'll cross this off, more a will.
I used to hide a lot, wearing scarves as well.
Have an effect, bring about a result that I'm actually after. And my result that I'm after is an overall improvement in personal health and weight loss. So these 3 things are daily habits that I'm going to incorporate into my life. Now,
this is interesting because I think I was actually talking about personal health in terms of something to talk about in this video, but whether I actually truly believed that it was something I was going to actually do, you could tell because the 3 things, the habits, are so small, and in terms of, like, so I don't know whether I really don't think I was that serious about improving my health and things. So, and this was before the actual weekend, the Tony Robbins weekend.
And they're very simple habits, so that's why it's more like a challenge as to whether it's going to work or not. But the first one is going to be standing. I'll put stand, and that is when I come to my office, I'm going to be standing while I work. And I'm talking to you now where my laptop is actually elevated by a couple of boxes.
You're going to see this picture.
My monitor is raised up by a little table, and I'll put an image to show you.
There you go. There's your
the second thing,
2020 home office. Well, my one anyway.
I'm going to, obviously, I think when you're standing, you're actually moving a bit more, but make a conscious effort to go outside. We have beautiful weather here in Sydney, where there's usually
yes, we do, and I do sometimes will actually walk, but I do find that I quite like those walk at home kind of exercises and things. So but vitamin D, natural vitamin D from being outside in the sun, I recommend it.
Sun shining and the skies are blue. And in the suburb that I live in, it's some wonderful walkways, and I just don't take advantage of it. So I'm going to add a 10-minute, 20-minute walk every day just to sort of relax and incorporate that into my daily habit. The third one, and this is the key, it's not exercise, but it is controlling what I eat. So I think I was on YouTube.
Well, I got that right back then. I recognized then the importance of what you actually eat. Since then, of course, it's 2 components. It's what you eat and when you eat. That's the main sort of factor of actually losing weight and helping to contribute to your, to my personal thing of reversing my pre-diabetes and thing, but of course adding the exercise for the movement and thing. So the person I actually mentioned here, who I saw on YouTube, is actually the guy, and maybe your children or your maybe the sons, whatever, might actually know who they are, but it's Jeff from Athlean. So he's quite a sort of popular YouTuber, but he's an older guy and he's been exercising forever, and I think he's actually one of those celebrity coaches as well and things, but he's been around the industry for a long time, and he has a number of those YouTube videos, and I mention it here what he said that hadn't affected me.
A night and a video, obviously their particular headline attracted me into pressing play, and it was this guy, I think his name was Jeff, but he's very popular, and he's into health and fitness, and he was talking about the one thing that and I sort of took it as like, oh, the one exercise that you could do that could lose belly fat or something like that. But what he said is there's just one thing that if you actually did this, then no amount of exercise and a particular set of exercises could have a more significant impact on you.
Now, I can hear the raspy breathing too, right? Which is understandable. I just, this is way back before I even started to do anything. So the fact that I did a video challenge, irrespective of how I was actually looking at the time, I'm really pleased that I actually went ahead and actually just did that. It was a very safe environment. It was a very private environment that we were actually doing this video challenge and posting. But the fact that it was actually doing it in the first place is it's a long way to actually where I am now.
And this one thing was just having a good diet, because he basically said you could just exercise, but it doesn't mean anything if you've got a bad diet. And my diet is not good, and it's been not good for a number of years. So I've decided to just change the things around, reduce the frequency of snacking, and just watch more what I'm eating. Oh, particularly when you get older, and you start to hurt more in the back. And yeah, so these three things: standing while I actually work, going for little walks outside, and just controlling what I eat and drinking more water a day. Let's see how we go with this particular mini challenge that I put on myself for the rest of this year, and see how it goes from that. So thank you again, and see you next time.
So I guess what you have there is just the words. The words can come out, and then it's like the action actually followed, whether it's by chance or it's just very good fortune, or maybe it's like if you don't even believe in luck, it was something that was just destined to actually happen on that one. So I thought that was actually interesting in that particular video. And I'll just show you a really short one after that, because that was actually over 3 minutes, and there was a guideline in this video challenge to actually talk no more than 3 minutes, because that's people's attention span basically. But here is the day that I actually started with the my health journey, and you can see here that I was actually I'm wearing the t-shirt, and I've put this picture up. It's probably me actually standing with a different pose, but part of the Unleash the Power Within was actually breaking a board that you would put words of whatever it is that's actually hindering you or some kind of obstacle. And I think on that board, and I'll show you because I've got the board in front of me, but I'll play this video because it's only about an hour. Well, is it just an hour? Sorry, it's just less than 2 minutes. But I'll show you what the words are that actually put it in there. And I think it's basically self-belief, a lack of self-belief and fear on there. So, and I'm talking about a particular program, I think.
So what was all that about? Well, that was actually breaking any self-belief or doubt that the KBB course.
Okay, the KBB course is basically, well, it's actually known as Project Next, but it was the one that was is evolved into. It's basically a what is it? I'm getting all confused now. Sorry, it's a coaching program by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and a few other people, where it will basically guide you if you have something that is of interest, you have a passion or a skill, some kind of knowledge that you know, or maybe you're good and actually somebody else knows, and then you can actually be like what they call a reporter of that knowledge, is to be able to put that knowledge in a format that you can actually teach it. And I had taken the KBB, which actually stands for Knowledge Broker Blueprint course, when it first came out about 3 years ago, and it did evolve over the 3 years so that it's actually in a sort of a smaller format, more easily adaptable, and a more it's more in line of where the world is these days and of people learning and how they actually learn online. All right, so I'm talking about that particular course
that I'll be talking about will work for you. Now, we all have them. We all have these fears and this personal self-belief that's not quite there as to whether we can actually do the course, and faith in ourselves to actually implement what we learn on the course. But this is what it's about. This KBB is for those who have a skill or have a knowledge that some kind of passion perhaps that they have about something that they feel that they could put it in a way to help others go through. Maybe it's something that you went through that was quite messy. You know, maybe it was a divorce or something, and you have something that you could share in terms of helping other people go through that. Whatever it is, there is going to be that self-belief that you initially feel when you're trying to take on a challenge. Maybe it's a video challenge and you've never done videos before. Whatever it is, what you can do is just think about who it is that you're actually helping, and then your whole mindset is on those people, on your target market, and that should help you through and break any barriers that you may have, any self-beliefs that you may have.
Okay, well, so that was a bit of fun, and I'm so glad that I actually did this challenge before I did my health challenge. Okay, so let me just stop sharing now, so you can see me. Oh, hello, hi. I just saw the message. Just busy yapping away. Yeah, so here's my boards. Here's the boards that I break, and it is something that it turns up, you know, when you're on this event, and you are breaking the board on the very first day, and you're like thinking, oh my God, how am I going to break that? Because it's like, I don't do karate or whatever it is. But you go through this whole mind process of actually doing it. But just to give you an idea, if I can read this properly, as I have this up. Yeah, so you have your limitations. What did I actually write? Self-belief. self-belief and fear. I actually broke the board in 2 pieces, but then there was a big enough piece, so I actually broke it again. Self-belief and fear. So I was breaking through that, basically. And on the other side of the board is the things that you are actually trying to do and sort of be, or, you know, your goal. And that was, I am a, this is what I wrote, I am a go-getter, a leader, a success coach, fearless, and I put great. Hey, isn't this like the challenge I have to do tomorrow? Day 3, I've got to say 5 things about myself. Don't worry, I don't think they're going to be those things. But yeah, so I thought that might be interesting just to show you how I was, you know, back then, and how it is still this continuous process that you still have to actually keep yourself motivated, keep yourself, you know, on track, take the focus off yourself. Actually, when you take the focus off yourself and onto people that you're actually serving and helping, it just makes for everything a lot more easier, and you know what you need to do, and that's the whole key to it. Just keep serving others and things. So, all right, that's what I wanted to share today. You guys have a really nice rest of the evening, and I'm going to go downstairs and make dinner. I think dinner tonight will be some kind of meat with vegetables and things. Last night I made because we had a roasted chicken the previous day, there was a lot of chicken left over, and I basically just steamed it, so a lot of the meat fell off. Sorry, I'm diverting into like a bit of cooking thing, but so I got all the meat, and then I added it to a bit of pasta. I didn't actually have the pasta, but the boys, you know, I don't mind that the boys are actually having a bit of pasta. So I added that, and it was like a chicken bake, I put vegetables in it, and then I just quickly whipped up some kind of sort of a mustard kind of Dijon type of sauce through that, and then put some grated cheese on top. And yeah, and there were no leftovers. It was just all gone. So yay. Actually, that's going to be my thing tomorrow. One of them is going to be that I can cook. All right. Okay, so time to go. Have a nice evening, and I will catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.